In this video, I want to look at how we can interpret simplifying fractions. We know that every fraction is equal to infinitely many other fractions. But in a collection of fractions that are equal to each other, there's one that's the simplest. So if I have a fraction a over b, we say it's in simplest forms if there's no number other than one that divides them both evenly. In other words, 1 is the only number that divides both a and b evenly, and then that would mean this fraction is in simplest form. As an example, 3/4 is in simplest form since there's no whole number that divides both 3 and 4 other than 1. On the other hand, 30 over 35 is not in simplest form since I can divide both of them by 5. I can write the top as 6 times 5 and the bottom as 7 times 5. And we know this is equivalent to 6 over 7. This equation is the reverse of the equation that we looked at in the previous video going the other direction. So a lot of times when we do this, one way to kind of abbreviate this is we draw these little arrows and write divided by 5 on both the top and the bottom. 30 divided by 5 is 6, and 35 divided by 5 is 7. To go from 6 over 7 to 30 over 35, we multiplied by 5. So to go backwards, to go 30 over 35 to 6 over 7, we need to divide by 5. Simplifying a fraction means we want to write it as an equivalent fraction that's in its simplest form. So let's think about this in terms of our rods. Simplifying a fraction means we want to write it as an equivalent fraction in its simplest form. So let's think about what it is that we're doing in terms of our fraction rods. Once again, let's consider 6 over 8 and 3 over 4. Here I have a rod that represents 6 over 8. We have it broken up into 8 pieces, and I've shaded 6. Well, essentially what I'm going to do is realize I can group these. So I can consider a group of 2 over here to the left. Here's another group of 2, another group of 2, and then a final group of 2. And this is a great way to group them since every group is either completely shaded or not shaded at all. So I can eliminate these bars here. And I erased my shading there, but we'll go ahead and shade it back. And now I can see that I have this broken into, let's erase this bar as well, 4 pieces, and 3 are shaded. I want to look at this idea of regrouping one more time. So I said this one was great because either a group was completely shaded or not shaded at all. I could have also split this in half and tried to break it up into halves, but now I can see this one's completely shaded, so it's good, but this one's not. It's not either completely shaded or completely unshaded, so this would not be a good way to regroup things.